Hello, everybody. It's the American Doofus Show. It is the American Doofus Show. I'm your host, Barry Walsh. Don't be a doofus. Just going to hop on here live for a few minutes and address a few things. We're going to give a quick look back at our interview with Delta Jango, General Delta Jango of NFAR from last night, and look forward to Lafayette, Louisiana this coming Saturday. It is the first of the month, so it's a good time to become a member. You can become a monthly member for as little as $2.99 a month. It doesn't impact you. It just gives you some extra perks. There's some members only videos, and there'll be some members only perks that come along with that. Three different stages of membership, and again, it's the first of the month, so a good time to consider becoming a member. And Friday night we will have Friday night super chat as always, and a chance to support the show there as well. Speaking of supporting the show, I was trying to put some funds together through Gofundme and Cash App to be able to go down to Lafayette on Saturday and to live stream and document everything as it happened. Not going to be able to do that. I had just a few very generous donors, and not close to. I said if I could get to halfway, that I would go ahead and do it, and have faith that the rest of the money would come in. We got about a quarter of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact those that donated, and I'll send them the money back through Cash App if they want. If not, I'm going to hold on to it and start trying to put enough money together to go to Lakeland, Florida on October 24th, a couple of weeks from now, when the Angry Viking is going to be there. General Delta Jango and his organization will be there, and who knows, maybe the NFAC will be there too. So, and I had said from the start, if we couldn't do it, we couldn't do it. It wasn't going to be I wasn't going to be begging people for money to be able to do it. I think it should be covered, and hopefully will be a couple of live streamers down there. As of right now, I'm not aware of any. So we'll see how it goes. I will be covering Saturday somehow. I'm not exactly sure yet if it's going to be through a live, or if I'll just try to compile some clips and put something together for Saturday. But we will be keeping an eye, as I said, on everything going on in Lafayette. So those were the three main things I wanted to touch on before looking back last night. I wanted to remind you all that subscriptions, you can subscribe to the channel and become a member of the Doofus team, I guess, and for as little as $2.99 a month. And then super chat tomorrow night, where you anytime we do a live show, you can support the show by taking part in super chat. Again, just going to be on for a few minutes, but Delta Jango last night, I personally thought the interview was fascinating. I've had a couple of messages, that I should have asked him about this. I should have, stopped him. I should have fact checked him. I should have. And the purpose of this show is not about starting arguments. It's not about telling people they're wrong. There are enough shows that do that. What we try to do here is we don't try to tell people how to think. We try to give you things to think about. And the way when I have a guest, I ask them a question, and I let them talk. I try not to interrupt. I try not to correct them. I try not to, I will ask for clarity here and there. Last night, it puzzled me that Grandmaster Jay would be the head of Trump security while he's also running for president. But but hey, it's Trump, so who knows? Multiple things can be true at the same time. We know that. Sometimes we forget that. And when talking about the NFAC and the NFAR, multiple things can be true at the same time. Grandmaster Jay and Delta Jango are two very different individuals, and they're on two individual and distinct paths. Does that mean one of them is right and one of them is wrong? Not necessarily, because two things can be right at the same time. Grandmaster Jay's often said the NFAC is not for everybody. Well, the NFAR is not going to be for everybody either. And just because some people can line up behind the NFAC doesn't mean others shouldn't be lining up behind the NFAR. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Delta Jango is a man of muscle, and Grandmaster Jay is a man of talk. That doesn't mean one's superior over the other. That means they take two different approaches to things. Grandmaster Jay likes to have a whole bunch of information. General Delta Jango is a man of action and just takes care of problems. One is Grandmaster Jay is taking an obvious political tact, as I've said from jump. I thought that Grandmaster Jay was utilizing the NFAC as a power source, as a power block, trying to build it so big that no one would dare attack it. And General Delta Jango is not about the politics of it. He's about the action of it. And Grandmaster Jay seems to be trying to prepare for an exodus, whereas General Delta Jango is preparing for a war, specifically late October, November, and December. So there are different tacks, there are different strategies, there are different paths. It doesn't necessarily mean one's right, one's wrong. Two things or more can be right at the same time. Multiple things can be true at the same time. And I've said all along that, with Grandmaster Jay, there are inconsistencies. And one of the big ones to me was the Trump connection, and that people have to weigh inconsistencies with consistencies and make decisions on their own. This is nothing new for the show. I've been talking about this quite a bit. And I also got a message from someone that said it was a waste of time to have Delta Jango on because the person that was writing it knew everything that he had said. Well, I personally did not know everything that I learned a lot from that interview last night. As I said, I thought it was fascinating to listen and to take part in that conversation. And while it may be true that some of you, that there was nothing new to some of you, I guarantee you, to those in the white community that saw that, there were a lot of things that were new, a lot of things that white people hadn't considered that Delta Jango brought to light, brought to the discussion. And again, this show, we talk about things that other people don't talk about. That's what makes the show different. That's what makes the show unique. And I promise you, if Grandmaster Jay ever comes on the show, I'm going to treat him just like I did General Delta Jango. I'm going to ask him asking questions. I'll ask a question and then I'm going to let him talk. And that's just the way we do it. And speaking of guests, Monday, I've got, we haven't nailed down the time yet, but a really interesting interview coming up on Monday. A gentleman that he's a master designer of war games, video games that are based on wars. And he's designed several of these, and you'll recognize some of the titles that he's responsible for. Well, he has taken his expertise and his analogs, and he has he's come up with 4 scenarios for the possibility of civil war here in the United States. And I laid out my scenario a few Fridays ago. I think that I had said that there will be a dog whistle that will alert those aligned with Donald Trump to what their plan of action is, alert that it's time to put that plan into action. And there wasn't really a dog whistle the other night when there was supposed to be a debate. He basically said, stand back, but stand by. And I think, and I've said that Halloween is going to be the night where everything kicks off. And it's going to get so bad that they're going to declare martial law and say that there can't be an election, and election has to be postponed because things are so bad. That is my scenario. The gentleman we're going to have on Monday has 4 scenarios based upon what happens when the election takes place. So thank you, Celia. Thank you for supporting the show. All honor, General Delta Jango. Great interview. Thank you, Celia. I thought it was a fascinating. I thought it was a fascinating interview, and there are things people can learn from anybody, and I guarantee you the white community that saw that interview learned a lot of things. I got thrown off by the all honor General Delta Jango, great interview. And whether you, in my opinion, okay, and I'm talking from the opinion of an old white dude, been around 60 years. All right. If there is a political answer to the problems in the communities of color, then I want to be behind Grandmaster Jay because he's trying to do it politically. If war is coming, I want to be behind General Delta Jango because when it comes to actual fighting, that's who I want to be behind. So 2 things can be true, multiple things can be true at the same time. Holly Love, thank you very much. Thank you for supporting the show. We're waiting on your Cash App. The Cash App is $ American Doofus, all one word. I'm going to keep the GoFundMe up. As I said, it's at the point now where I checked right before I came on, and the only way I can't get down to Lafayette. I could fly in Saturday night, but that would be too late. Fly in Saturday night and fly back out Sunday morning. But that would be too late. It would defeat the purpose, and it'd just be a big waste of money. So what we're doing now is we're going to shoot for being in Lakeland, Florida, and I've got a friend that's close to Lakeland, so I might be able to stay there, and I might be able to cut expenses, and I might be able to get to Lakeland, Florida, a lot cheaper than I could have gotten to Lafayette, Louisiana. But I'm going to keep the GoFundMe up. and I'll put a link on it after I'm done with this. And the Cash App is $ American Doofus, all one word. So we'll try to put enough funds together to get down to where the Angry Viking and Delta Jango are going to be on October 24th, which will be 3 weeks away from Saturday. So hopefully we'll be able to get all of that arranged. And again, hopefully I'm going to find some way of getting some coverage on Saturday from Lafayette, Louisiana, on what's going on. So if anybody has any questions or anything, pop them up in the boxes. That's the best way for me to see them. Again, we were trying to put enough funds together to get to Lafayette, Louisiana. And I said if I could get halfway, I'd go ahead and make the arrangements. And I got about a quarter of the way. Thankful to the donors. And again, I will contact if you're on the chat now, know that you're going to have an email or text or something. I'm not exactly sure what information I get from people that donate on Cash App, but I'll make sure that you have the choice of either sending the money back to you or putting the money towards trying to go to Florida. Now, if something happens, I can fly in. I can fly in tomorrow night. I can fly in on Friday night, but that costs like 3 times the amount of money. So if you all are talking amongst yourselves and you all decide, 50 of you are going to put in $10 a piece, then I'll fly out tomorrow night. If we can raise $500 by midnight tonight, I'll fly out tomorrow night and be there for Saturday. But as it sits right now, not even close to the funds to be able to do it. And for those that haven't been watching for a while, the reason I have to ask for the funds, number one, last Friday my laptop crashed and I had to buy a new laptop, and I wasn't expecting that. And I lost my partner about 7 weeks ago, and things have been tight because there are all the same expenses in the household. Just half of the income's been coming in, and I got to fix that. So that's I'm going to have to make that a priority. Trying to find, and I lost my job 2 Fridays ago too. So and by the way, unemployment in Indiana is $128 a week. So for those that say, people living on welfare or on benefits, they just, they've got it great, and they just, but it's a bunch of ignorant crap. People that have to depend on social services to live aren't living in the lap of luxury. At least this one's not for the couple of weeks I've been in that position. So again, there's no need you don't have to hate Delta Jango to love Grandmaster J, and you don't have to hate Grandmaster J to love General Delta Jango. They're 2 very different men with 2 very different paths and very different objectives. Again, the best way I can put it, Grandmaster J's trying to play chess and playing a long game and trying to arrange an exodus for communities of color that so desire to have that. And General Delta Jango sees, as I see, that there's a real true potential for war coming, and he's preparing for that. So both things are true at the same time. give a quick look down the comments here before I sign off. Let's see. Proud Boys. I just saw the term Proud Boys there glancing up. The Proud Boys are a fairly well-connected group, it seems like to me, going up to what's his name, Stone. Shoot, I can never think of I can see his face and I can never think of his first name. Is it Richard Stone? I don't know. He was one of Trump's advisors and was thrown in prison and they got him out because of COVID. But he's been photographed giving their gang sign, if you will. And Trump mentioned them in the speech. You know, he said, stand back, but stand by. He wasn't like, he wasn't condemning them. And they may be the modern day KKK. There may not be any need for hoods and bed sheets anymore. But if, you know, and one thing that General Delta and I definitely agreed on last night is if a war comes, it's going to be tough to know who the enemies are. It's going to be tough to know whose side who's on, because a lot of these groups, a lot of the militia people I hear from, they claim they're not racist. They claim that they're not in a militia because they want a race war. They're in a militia because they think everything's going to break down and go to hell, and they want to be prepared. And I don't blame them. I can't blame them for that. I can't get any of them to come on and talk with me, but I got to take them at their word until actions show otherwise. Same thing with, you know, I've tried to contact, I've put feelers out trying to contact the Boogaloos, the Three Percenters, the Oath Keepers, the Wild Card Command of Kentucky, the supposed leader of the Ku Klux Klan. You know, I'll have them all on, and I'll let them all talk, and then we'll all judge, you know, because that's what the show is. But none of them will come on. Angry Viking, I sent the Angry Viking 3 separate times saying, you know, give me 15 minutes. Each time I get a thing back saying, you can buy merchandise at this website now. And I'm trying to get people to think about adult things, not buy merchandise. It's not. I'm not after buying merchandise. I want you to answer one question, Angry Viking. If I get you on, the only question I really have is, would you have planned to go to Kenosha, Wisconsin, if that 17-year-old that killed those 2 men had been a black man, a young black boy? And that answer, you know, I saw one of the things he said about Breonna Taylor: if you sleep with dogs, you're going to end up with fleas. So for those that don't know, that country colloquialism basically means you get what you deserve. And I just personally don't feel Breonna Taylor got what she deserved. So again, just wanted to come on here real quick and talk about a few things. Again, thank you, ladies that supported. And the Cash App is $ American Doofus. And again, I'll pull the GoFundMe page up and put the link down there. And what we'll try to do is just, unless there's a big influx, and I can fly out tomorrow night and be there for Saturday because I want to make sure I'm there Saturday during the day if I'm going to be there to film, because the formation's at 4:00. But I don't think it's going to happen. And we're under a pandemic. It could turn into a shit show down there, and it could be shooting. It could be. Hopefully, it won't, because in case you haven't heard, the congressman Clay Higgins that had said he'd shoot 10 NFAC without even spilling his beer. He apologized to Grandmaster Jay and over the phone, and so that should take a little bit of the. It'll take a little bit of the pressure off of the congressman, at least, because now he doesn't have any impetus. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any way of tying guilt to him if something does break out, and that could be a dog whistle too. He could publicly be saying, I apologize to Grandmaster Jay. I meant, I got carried away, whatever. And then the whole time he's wink, wink, nod, nod to the Klan, the Proud Boys, the just group of white rednecks from Louisiana that decide somebody's going to be a hero. Another thing Delta Jango touched on last night, they used the little white boy cannon in that, and they use him as a juxtaposition to Black Lives Matter. Or when you say when you hear the protesters say her name, Breonna Taylor, well, they say, well, why aren't you saying Cannon's name? And again, it's because the little boy's killer was brought to justice relatively quickly. And Delta pointed out that there was $500,000 had been contributed in GoFundMe to that boy's family, and how another amount had been contributed slightly higher to a little girl's family. And then there was $2.7 million had been donated to the GoFundMe for the 17-year-old kid that killed two people in Wisconsin. And that the priorities are off. Okay. Just wanted to throw that out, because a lot of people were just blanketly condemning everything that General Delta Jango said last night, and you can't do that. You just can't do that, because while a lot of the things were aimed at Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC, and depending on which side of the fence you're on, that you're either going to like those comments or not, a lot of the things were aimed at humanity, and the kid was protecting himself. 17-year-old kid was protecting himself the second time. The first time he shot a guy in the head. Okay, he shot a guy in the head and then called his friends and told him what they'd done. They said, "Get back here." On the way back, they were chasing him. They were trying to kill him because he'd already killed somebody else. Now you can say he was protecting himself. He was on the ground. He should not have been in the situation. He shouldn't have been out there. He shouldn't have had a gun. He shouldn't have taken it across state lines. He did. And it's a sign of where we're at as an American society, that's considered heroic. I wouldn't want to be in the position. I wouldn't want to be laying on the ground, somebody getting ready to hit me in the head with a skateboard, or somebody pulling a 9mm or a 45 or whatever the pistol was. But he put himself in that position. He put himself in that position. So he's not a victim. He's not a victim. Not a victim of anything, and in my opinion. And I'm going to end it on that. I love you all. I thank you all. you're you're a great, beautiful, diverse group of people, and everybody's welcome here, regardless of your ideologies, your religious affiliations, and damn sure regardless of the pigment of your skin. I love you all. It's the American Doofus Show. Something breaks tonight, I may be back for another live. Otherwise, I'll be on tomorrow night live, unless we get an influx of cash and I'm taking off for Louisiana, but I'm not anticipating that. I'm anticipating sometime between 8 and 9 o'clock covering Lafayette, one way or the other. And on Monday, we're going to have our master game designer on talking about the 4 possibilities of his 4 scenarios for Civil War. Thank you all again. Judd, I just saw you on here. I didn't want to give anybody's name that had donated because I didn't know if you went under a different name online, and I didn't want to give anybody's real name out. But I did, as I looked down to get ready to close it, I saw Judd. And Judd, you're one of the gracious donors. And I just want to ask you, if you want, I will send the money back through the Cash App back to you. If we don't get a big influx tonight, and if I don't use it, or I'm going to put it towards going to Lakeland, Florida on October 24th, when the Angry Viking is going to be there. General Delta is going to be there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC showed up, and simply because of last night's interview with Delta Jango, when he said he wanted all the NFAC there, he just didn't want Grandmaster Jay. That's the kind of thing that Grandmaster Jay is going to go, oh yeah, well, I'm coming. So he may be there too. Judd, let me know what you decide. If others are on here that have donated, let me know what you decide. You can email me at americandoofus@gmail.com, or you can go to Facebook, the American Doofus page, not the American Doofus shop, but American Doofus, just that's all it's called, American Doofus, that page, and message me there. Let me know if you want me to Cash App the money back to y'all, or if you want me to hold on to it to see if I can still get to Louisiana, and if not, have more time to plan on getting to Florida. Thank you all. I love you all. I really do. It's still a dark world. Try to be a light. Try to spread a little love, if at all possible. And remember, multiple things can be true at the same time. It's the American Doofus Show. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Thanks for watching. Until next time, don't be a doofus.